Alright y'all, today we are in the hog lot. I'm going to give you a tour of what we had and what we're going to have. We're rebuilding this. I had a few learning curves to get through last year, but this is going to be better. Now what we had basically last year was a 16 by 24, maybe 20. It ran from the corner post of this shelter down about where I'm standing and straight over to that post over there. I used the hog panels, which was fine for a smaller area, but if you're going to do a big area, it gets kind of costly. And what we've done this year, we've took up the old lot, and the reason we done this, by the time it come time to slaughter, it was basically one big mud pit. And I brought in dirt and graded this back out best I could. It's been kind of a wet winter. It's warmed up this spring early, but we've took this lot down and we made it about 4 times bigger here. We got high tensile woven wire. I'll bring it down here to this corner. I've already got one run done. We cut out these vertical runs here about, well, long enough to wrap around the post. Brought it around the post, tied it off all the way down. It's probably not the prettiest work. I'm not a professional fencer. I'm just trying to show you how to do this with basic tools that you probably already have. So we laid it down, cut the vertical runs out, stood it up for about 10 foot, tied it off, then we rolled the wire up the hill to this next post. When we get up here, we stood it all up. I'll show you how I pulled it tight here in just a minute, but we got it tight, stapled it, wrapped it around. We stapled on this side, wrapped around, stapled it again. Sorry, I'm trying to walk, talk, point, and use the camera all at the same time. Got it stapled there, stapled all the wood posts down, and come back in with our clips. Metal clips here wrapped around the T-posts. Put about 4 on each post all the way down. Now these posts are about 3.5 foot apart. You need to build your hog lot as sturdy as you can, and you want your wire on the inside of the post because they will root and push and try to get out. We're going to come back in when I get all this fencing done and put a hot wire about maybe 10-12 inches away from the fence to keep them from getting that far to it. So what I've done, I've got my next run stood up and pulled here. We've tied it off. We come up here to the truck. I've got just 2 oak boards. It's simple. I sandwiched the wire in between them, screwed them together, and I've got ratchet straps hooked to the hitch on my truck and just pulled it tight. Now it's pretty tight. You can hear that. Fence is tight. Can't get a little bit of wiggle there. Now there's other ways to do this. There's professional fencers. They got tools to sandwich these things together. I don't have none of that. Don't really want to spend the money on it because I'm not doing a whole lot of fencing. What I'm going to do now, start stapling this post, and I'll go down, hit the next wood post, and then I'll come back and put my T-clips in. My T-post clips on my T-post. And then we got one more run to do, and we'll be done with the fence. And I'm going to come in here, I'm going to make my shelter a little bit longer, and I'm going to build a floor in there. As you see, they've about rooted the floor out, and this is just kind of built into the hillside. So I'm going to put a treated lumber floor in, just like building a deck, so they can't root. The feeder will sit level. They'll have shelter to get under, storms, snow if it does, if it gets cold enough. And that's about all I got. So, like, follow if you want to. It's going to be my first video, and we're going to do probably several things. I do a little bit of blacksmithing. We have chickens, raise a big garden every year. Ain't no telling what you might see on here. So, y'all have a good one.